As part of the collaborative development section of the creating meeting with Kumu course, I'd like to offer a few thoughts on effective problem solving. Now, most of the slides I'm going to use are from a virtual systemic inquiry course that was done previously, so a little of them are probably a little off kilter, but the essential nature will come through. So the realization was that the task at hand is extremely complex, typically, and more often than not overwhelming. So it overwhelms the methods that we have typically used in the past. And as such, as was pointed out in the predicament uh, video, collaboration is essential. Though to do collaboration, one needs an integrated tool set if you're going to work with a group of individuals who are geographically distributed, working in different time zones on multiple projects at the same time. But even more important than an integrated tool set is an integrated mindset, so that the group of individuals who are collaborating and trying to figure out an approach to deal with this situation have to be absolutely aligned in terms of what it is that they're trying to accomplish. Otherwise, it just results in chaos. And this comment from Margaret Mead, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. That just continues to ring true over and over and over again. So as we thought about all of this, we realized that there were a whole different set of features or functions from different types of things we needed to support the environment, but it wasn't the critical aspect. What we realized was that how we went about it, and that we needed a way to provide a focus for all of the individuals participating, and a way to do discussions. So we used a wiki page, and we were doing discussions on LinkedIn because that's where almost everybody was anyway. And we used the discussions and sort of synthesized the essence of the discussion back into a concise meaning in the focus page. And in the process, we then went ahead and developed concept map. And based upon the development of the concept map, there were more discussions, and this cycled back and forth along with synthesizing things back to the focus page. And this worked well. And where appropriate, we also ended up developing formal models in Insight Maker. And this went back and forth. So we were doing concept maps in Insight Maker and formal models in Insight Maker. Though as we continued to do this and experiment over the last 5 years, we have come to realize with the advent of Kumu that we can now simplify the set of interactions so that Kumu will support the discussions and the development of the concept map, and where we need to develop formal models in Insight Maker, we can develop them in Insight Maker and actually embed them into Kumu so that it looks like everything is part integrated into the same environment. And it has worked very well to this point. Though what I'll leave you with is probably the greatest realization from doing experiments for the last 5 years is that the group of individuals who are collaborating have to be, as I said, you need a shared mindset. There has to be a crystal clear definition of what the intent is so that the participants can develop a sense of ownership for that intent. We find that you know, I continue to comment to people, the worst thing about being a system thinker is that everything is interesting, because anytime you look at anything, you see connections to connections to connections, and it's fascinating. So that it's extremely difficult to maintain focus. So that the intent and the ownership helps to maintain a focus, but there has to be at least one individual that's part of the group who is absolutely obsessed about getting something done, because the predicament says that most, if not all, of the people involved are engaged in multiple projects at the same time, so that there are different things competing for their attention, and it's very easy to get distracted or sidetracked off into other things. And we have had projects where there have been 3 or 4 people intent on focused on getting something done, and things progressed well. And then we have had projects where, well, there were a few people who sort of thought that they were engaged, but there wasn't really any sense of ownership, and the thing drifted all over the place and actually fizzled out in time. And then we've had projects where there's been one person who was absolutely intent on ensuring that something got done, and the other people were sort of dragged along kicking and screaming, though making contributions at the appropriate points to contribute to the end result. So there are multiple ways that experience has shown me that it can happen, depending upon the situation and the participants. You sort of have to figure out which one is the right one, or which one will work for the particular intent that you're working with, and sort it out. So I leave you with the same comment that I started with from Margaret Mead, which continues to prove true. It's a small, thoughtful, committed group of individuals who are essentially obsessed. They will find a way or make one to create progress. So hope you found this useful, informative, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.